up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back, Raw. Welcome, Troy.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. Thanks for coming on. So,
Man, no problem.
episode number 10, I think it is.
10. We finally made the milestone, bro. 10.
Exactly. So what we're going to be doing from moving forward real quick is putting them out every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that, audio listeners as well. But Troy, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Man, so name is Troy. Grew up in the Bay Area. Live in Emeryville currently. Battled cancer for 14 years. Lost my left arm. And yeah, I'm really trying to do a big thing in the community. I'm trying to start a nonprofit foundation to do motivational, inspirational speaking, spread awareness about, how living an active, healthy lifestyle can really make a difference in people. I coach basketball currently. That's a real passion of mine, helping kids out. So yeah, I'm just trying to stay consistent, man, trying to, practice what I preach and live in a active, healthy lifestyle as well. And yeah, man, just trying to just taking one step at a time and not overwhelm myself.
Yeah, seriously.
My first question is, you say healthy lifestyle. Are you big on like the vegan hype right now too, or is that something completely different?
Oh man, so I'm vegetarian.
Okay.
I went vegan, and it was tough for me. One thing I always preach about when I say, or when I tell people like what I eat is everybody's different. What worked for me may not work for you, and so my thing is find what works for you and, stick to it,
Mm-hmm.
and so, just quick story, like I went vegetarian for 2 years trying to do something different. Like I had cancer and I was given 6 months to live in 2007. I had 9 tumors throughout my body. I had 8 in my lungs and I had 1 in the back of my head.
Holy crap.
And so, man, I was going to the hospital every 6 months, getting a CT, a bone scan, and an MRI.
Wow.
And I was very, very stable for, 10, 12 years. And, obviously with, a lot of documentaries coming out on Netflix, like What the Health, I kind of did some research, and that's when I tried vegan, but it was just too hard for me,
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried vegetarian, and I did that for 2 years. And I actually beat cancer this past December 2018.
Oh wow, man! Congratulations, by the way.
Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you.
So what type of cancer did you have?
I had osteosarcoma. So it is bone cancer, and it started out on my left arm. And I had a bone replacement. I did 9 months of chemo. After I finished chemo, the cancer spread again to the same arm, and they actually had to amputate my left arm. And about 5 months later, the cancer came back again, and it
Mm-hmm.
spread to my lungs. And it metastasized and kept multiplying every time they were doing surgery.
Oh, man.
And then eventually a tumor got attached to my heart and to my trachea. So they had to try to cut the tumor off, but I started to bleed internally during surgery, so they had to burn the tumor so I wouldn't bleed to death. And after surgery, they basically said, we have no options for you. The only option we have is chemotherapy, which I did before, and I'm like, I'm not doing that again. That was gruesome. It was just brutal, like the worst time of my life. So I just decided to take my chances. I'm like, you know what? If I go out, I'm gonna go out swinging. I'm gonna do what I want to do in life. I'm gonna be in school or being around family and friends. So, I kind of just decided to take a risk on myself.
Gotcha. So I think it's interesting what you said. You said what works for you might not work for someone else. As far as, the cancer process, would you, say, hey, I wouldn't do chemo if someone else got diagnosed with cancer? Would you recommend doing that? Or would you say, hey man, let life take its course. If you body can beat it, it's going to beat it. If not, not.
Man, bro, that's a tough one because...
Pull the mic a little bit closer real quick, sorry.
No, you're good. That's tough because, when I was diagnosed, it was in 2004. I was 14 years old.
Oh, man.
And, there was no YouTube out. There wasn't iPhones, smartphones. And no one in my family had cancer. I was the first person, so I really didn't have nowhere to look to. I didn't have anyone where I can be like, hey, bro, what'd you do, when you fought cancer? So I just listened to the doctors. They said, we're doing chemo. This is what you got to do. And I'm like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. But now, living in 2019, there's so many resources with YouTube and Google. There's so many stories out there of people who've beaten cancer naturally by using marijuana CBD oil, which is actually what I used. It definitely helped me out a lot. And definitely with the, going plant-based, you don't have to go, I didn't go vegan, but I just I ate a lot more vegetable, like 10 times more than I ate previously. And I found out that worked for me. So going back to your question, if somebody told me they were diagnosed with cancer and what would be my recommendation, the first thing I would just say is do your research, but I would definitely recommend a lot of plant-based studies, just trying to give people options without having to go that route. Because yes, chemo kills bad cells, but it also kills good cells. And that's something that a lot of people don't hear about. It definitely kills cancer, but you get really sick, you lose your hair, you feel terrible, and you can either go that route, or you can, cut out everything and, go vegan or try vegetarian and not have to feel that sick and be healthier. So I think it's just doing what, kind of doing your research, and then even just looking at the foods that you might have to eat. If I said, hey, I eat blueberries every day, and somebody said, well, I'm allergic to blueberries. And I'll be like, okay, well, you want to find a different fruit that has, the same minerals but different ingredients that you're not allergic to. So it has the same like vitamins that help you fight these diseases, but stuff that you're not allergic to. So that's what I mean, kind of like by like just kind of doing your research and seeing what works for you.
Gotcha.
Wow. Huh.
And then another question I had was, did that situation kind of make you more spiritual? Were you like, damn, there is a God, like, or was it more like, it just wasn't my time, like?
Man, I'm definitely a big believer. I believe everything happens for a reason. That's something I try to leave out. I don't know how people feel about, their beliefs and, religion and whatnot. So I don't want to offend anybody, but I hear that a lot, from doctors, nurses, there's a guardian angel with you, there's somebody looking over you. I hear that all the time. And, of course, I can only imagine, like, my grandma, she passed away when I was like 10, and we were really close. And a couple of things that bothered me is I don't remember the last time I saw her. And, that always kind of bothers me. I never really got to say goodbye when she passed away. So, if anything, I could be like, yeah, I believe, like, my grandma, she's with me. She's definitely a big part of my life. And, I think that it's definitely something that I believe in. And so, just keeping my faith strong, understanding what I believe in has worked for me. It's gotten me this far in life. Yeah. And if it worked, why go away from it? Just keep pushing, take it one day at a time, and let the rest be history.
Gotcha.
Damn. So we were talking before the podcast a little bit. You're opening up your own basketball camp or basketball. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I'm coaching for about 3 years now. Coached 6th grade basketball, and I've coached girls before, 3rd grade through 6th grade. And, I've been wanting to start my own organization out here in the Bay Area. I want to be able to kind of run a program the way I want to be able to just show kids, the only disability in life is a bad attitude. I think a lot of kids out here, we tend to lose focus on kids are growing up without parents, without role models to look up to, and it's very easy to get pulled into like a different life, gang banging, or what I mean, like on the streets, robbing people. And it's so easy now, especially with social media. It could either be like a phone could either be like the devil or the angel, what I mean, because it depends on how you look at it. Because you see a lot of stuff like on World Star, they may post like a positive, inspirational video in 1 minute, and then 10 minutes later post a naked girl twerking, what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's like, it's so easy for kids to fall into like the bad arms, of what's out there. So I want to try to start a program to where, not only do I teach kids about, basketball, about, how it's helped me get to where I am today, but how it can like help kids, with their life and their situation, and understand that it's, sports, it can pay for school, it can pay for your education. It can lead you into other directions, like me, like coaching. You help other kids when you get older. You can become a mentor. Kids who, they may be great in basketball, but they have a bad attitude. Spend time with them, coach them into where they can fix that attitude. And so where coaches, they won't, kind of shove them aside because they have a bad attitude, even though they're a great player.
Yeah.
You know, they want to understand, like, hey, he just had a bad life, but he has somebody in his life that's helping him, you know, get through his struggles. And so, yeah, that's the reason why I want to start an organization, you know, to help out with the community, with like kind of what's going on in that situation.
That's sick.
We have a thing in Pleasanton. I used to ref out here. There was CYO.
Oh, okay.
Right, and so sometimes I'd have to ref the girls' games, and they would be like between 3rd and 8th grade, and those games are a lot more physical and aggressive than the guy games, because these girls, like, dude, they be throwing elbows, they be pushing each other, like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
it's crazy. I'm like, damn, these girls are 3rd grade. This is the suburbs. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, but tell me kind of about that experience and like how coaching girls was a lot different, because I'm sure it was.
Oh, definitely. You know, what's crazy about it is, you know, I feel like in today's society, I feel like girls feel like they're undervalued in sports because, you know, no one watches the WNBA. No one really watches it because it's not like, you know, scheduled to be like on mainstream TVs that much.
Yeah.
Or people may just say it's not exciting, you know, they can't dunk or whatever. So I feel like when I coached the girls, they felt like they had to push themselves more. You know, they had to fight to get the respect out there, you know,
Prove
to say,
it.
hey, yeah, prove themselves that they're worthy of being out there. And it was cool because I felt like the girls listened more than the guys did. You know, the guys, like I said, I coached 6th grade, so they're a little older and they're kind of developing into their personality. They're about to be in middle school, so they kind of had this swagger like, yo, I'm about to be in middle school, man, you can't tell me what to do. Like, I'm nice in basketball. And I'm like, hold on, dog. Like, we ain't played nobody. Like, we're out here, we'll play kids like in the same city, maybe a couple cities over, but man, let me take you to East Oakland, you know what I'm saying? Like,
people
where
out
some
there.
dogs out there,
For
you know?
real.
Wake your game up a little bit. So, and, you know, with girls, man, they were just humble. They were quiet. They listened. They understood that, you know, it takes a lot to get to the level that they wanted to be at. And so they were just very patient. And but on the court, though, they were hungry. Like you said, man, they were ready. And yeah, they just go out and get it. They get it done. And you know, so I enjoyed that. I actually enjoyed coaching the girls more than the boys.
Oh, wow.
Just in that sense, you know, because
They want to learn.
they want to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the boys don't, but the girls, you know, going back to what I said earlier, the girls feel like they have something to prove when it comes to sports because they feel like they get overlooked by the boys.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why they push themselves more. They hustle harder, they listen more, and they take it a step further every time they're out there because of that.
Gotcha.
Wow.
I have a theory on the WNBA, and I think it's super. I don't think a lot of professional women would like my theory, but
Here we
it's
go.
my theory because I think it would literally save the WNBA and it would make it a fucking mainstream
Oh boy.
sport
Here we go.
league.
Right.
If they lowered the rim to 9 feet instead of 10 feet,
They can start dunking.
they would dunk, bro. They would dunk on each other. It would be fucking way more highlights. I'm serious,
That's
bro.
true,
And
yeah.
I don't think a lot. Like, I heard Sue Bird talk about it once. Like, we don't want to be like a disadvantage other than the guys or something like that. But I just think, like, imagine Brittany Griner like on a 9-foot rim.
Right.
Like, it would be like nasty.
Right. And you know, I mean, I cannot remember the player, but somebody actually said that in it was a TV show. I can't remember, but someone said, "Have you thought about lowering the rims?" And she kind of made a statement about like they'd have to learn the game all over again, you know, like different
shot-wise.
shooting tech.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, what's more exciting, like a crossover where you break somebody's ankles or a dunk between the legs on somebody and breaking the rim? I mean, let's just be honest. I mean,
Right?
I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I completely understand both sides.
Yeah.
But in reality, dunking is the most exciting play in NBA. Whether
Yeah.
we want to admit that or not, dunking the basketball is the most exciting part. So if you can't do that, it kind of takes away the excitement. Like, you don't know what's gonna impress you more than that, you know? I mean, and I don't know. That's just kind of the way I feel like it's being viewed.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, Steph has certainly changed the game, you know, with shooting the ball from 90 feet, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Crazy.
to where, it's taken everybody's game to that level to where shooting is now just as exciting almost. But yeah, no, I completely understand where you're coming from on that sense of, kind of lowering the rims, to kind of just make it more exciting for the fans,
Yeah.
That's hella funny.
Right. That's always been my theory, man. I swear, I think that would literally save the WNBA. Not saying that it's in trouble right now, but I just think it could be a lot more popular because these girls are so talented, dude.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It's amazing how talented they are, and it's like they're playing on the same rim as the men. It's the same height. The ball is a little bit smaller, but other than that, I think that would literally save the league.
That's true. If they're gonna make a smaller ball, might as well make a smaller hoop, right?
Hey,
makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So I've seen on your Instagram a while back, you were on World Star, and you've met some pretty famous people. So is there a person that you've met that was kind of like the pinnacle so far, where you're like, oh my God, this is so dope?
The person that I have met, I probably would just have to say, I met Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA. But
damn, that's sick.
Yeah, I mean, it was very brief. It was actually at a pre-draft lunch. So I met Jaylen Brown, played for the Boston Celtics at Cal Berkeley. And the head coach of Cal had cancer at the time, and they had an event where they brought patients from the hospital to come by and kind of meet the coach, meet the players. And so I got invited, and me and JB, we just started talking, and we just clicked, and so we just exchanged contacts. And what's crazy is we didn't talk that often, but I texted him a couple months later after he declared to the draft, because he was projected to be a top 5 pick or top 10 pick, excuse me. And I'm like, hey man, congrats on declaring for the draft. And then he said, hey man, what are you doing in June? And I'm like, I don't know, probably just working or something. And then he invited me to go out there.
Damn.
To the
wow.
draft. Yeah, man. So it was cool, bro. A week later, I get an email from the NBA, and they send me my flight itinerary, my hotel confirmation.
What?
Oh shit! Yeah, they had a driver pick me up from the airport, take me to my spot,
sick.
and
That's cool, man.
yeah. So of course, meeting the commissioner wouldn't happen without meeting JB and stuff. So that was cool, man. And then with World Star, so I played in like a couple rec leagues, even though I have one arm, I still like to play just for fun or whatever. But
tear it up.
Yeah, I tried to, man. So, one of my bros, he came and recorded one of my games, and I hit this dude with like a spin move, and then I kind of drove to the lane and got a layup over him. He tried to like block my shot, but it looked pretty nasty on camera, so I posted it on my IG, and then a lot of people were sharing it. And then World Star like messaged me and said, hey man, can we post this video of you? And I was like, yeah, for sure, man. And
that's dope.
Yeah, and then they kind of they learned more about my story, and then they supported me a lot after hearing it. And they even reposted my video when I shared the news that I beat cancer in December.
Sick.
I found out December 18th.
Wow.
And so I actually went to the doctors, and I got the report saying that I was cancer-free, and I got it printed out on a piece of paper. And
wow.
I waited a week later to give it to my mom on Christmas Day.
Oh,
man.
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
I bet she broke down. I'm sure that was kind of emotional.
Definitely, man. It was. I mean, for me, it's like I had a whole week to kind of be like, wow, I'm cancer free. This is dope. I fought, really hard and, worked for this. And so, for her, she was just like, are you fucking kidding? Like what? Like what? Where? How? Like who?
Yeah.
It was because I didn't tell her and stuff. So, that was a blessing. To not only share that news, but to also have some big platforms like World Star, kind of have my back and support me and get my message out there. And I've definitely gotten a lot of support from people across the world who just reached out on, through messages and just saying, man, your story inspired me and whatnot. So, yeah, man, I just tried to take it, for all I can and just keep trying to spread that message about staying positive.
So I'm sure you've always loved basketball. Right, and I'm sure you had big dreams as far as your aspirations with basketball. How old were you when you lost your arm? You said 14.
I was actually 15.
15, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then when that happened, were you like, what was your emotions towards the game as far as you still wanted to play, of course?
Definitely. It was something kind of tough about it because I always felt like, I mean, every kid's dream is, as a kid, you know, you want to be a professional athlete, a doctor or a lawyer. And at that point, it was like, dang, well, what actually, you know, what made it a little easier is I was the team's manager. I was a manager for my high school basketball team at that time.
Okay.
So I got to travel with the team, you know, kind of like take the stats, you know, and just be involved in the huddles and sit on the bench with them. So I felt very a part of the team at that time, you know, and whatnot. So even though I knew I was like losing my arm at that time, like for me, it was more so like, damn, man, like I'm going to have to learn everything over, you know. It's almost kind of like, you know, learning how to walk as a toddler, you know, like you have to learn how to, you know, get dressed, you know, tie your shoes, get, you know, yourself ready and cook for yourself. You know, I didn't want to be that person that was so reliable for everybody and whatnot. So it definitely taught me patience. I'll definitely say that. I'm very understanding that things take time, you know, no matter what the circumstances are. So yeah, that was kind of a blessing because I wouldn't say I wasn't patient before, but this definitely taught me the values of being patient, you know, and, you know, kind of just definitely helped me in a lot of situations.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember talking to Travis, and he was like, yeah, man, I know this guy, he has one arm, but he hoops. You know, he can hoop. Like, he was, like, really, like, bigging you up on, like, you know, seeing you at the gym, I believe that's where it was, and you playing basketball and being, like, good. You know, I was like, oh, shit, we got to get him on the podcast, man. We got to hear this story.
100%.
Man, yeah. You know, what I always say is, you know, of course, like, when people see me understanding I have one arm, you know, they'll be like, you know, what was the biggest help for you? You know, like, who did you look up to? And, you know, I always just say my family and friends, you know, like, even Travis, man, like, he probably doesn't know it, but, like, he inspired me a lot because he didn't treat me any different. You know, we worked together at the same gym. And just by having those type of people around you, like, just by not looking at me like, damn, man, like, I don't want to be with him, he has one arm, you know, that's weird, you know, like, that actually just makes me feel more comfortable just having people around you that just treat you the same, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm older now, so, and I'm very understanding, like, if somebody, and it's happened before, I'll be in the streets and people be like, look, he has one arm, you know, whatever, just be really obnoxious about it. But, you know, it used to bother me a lot, but growing up, it's kind of like I understood that, man, you know what? They might just not have been raised on how to properly, you know, approach people when they see someone that's different. So I can't point the fingers at them, you know. I mean, the parents just might have not, you know, taught them about that. So I'm kind of understanding in that sense, but yeah, just being around people that, you know, have good hearts, you know, really genuine, you know, that makes life so much worth, you know, living for. It makes it a lot easier to just go about your day-to-day life, especially like when you're around them all the time, like in your work environment, you know, where we worked at. It was definitely easy to just, you know, feel welcomed, you know, and just be a part of something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a blessing as well because, like, some people, you know, you never know what people have. You never know what people don't have, you know, and we all have something that we're struggling with. No matter what, you know what I mean? So I think, you know, taking everything with a grain of salt and understanding that, hey, you know, I might have something that someone else doesn't have. I have a home, I have a family. Some people ain't got family, you know what I mean? Some people, there's always something that people don't have. You know what I mean? So looking at it a different lens can definitely, you know, change your mentality.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So growing up, after you lost your arm, was it, obviously you've kind of dealt with it now and those people in the street kind of saying things like they say, was there a point where when you were younger you were kind of like, you know what, screw that? Because I imagine when you were younger it was probably a lot harder because, I mean, kids just don't have filters.
Right, for sure. Yeah. I still deal with that today, you know. I'll be at the grocery store and, you know, literally I'll hear it like, you know, look, mommy has one arm, and they'll like scream it, you know. And then now that I'm older, my reaction is, okay, I'm not worried about the kid. What are the parents gonna say?
Exactly.
You know, because the parents could be like, you know, hey, don't say that.
Yeah,
you know, like
smack him,
try like smack him in the head, with it, you know, or they'll just be like, you know, like, really? Where? He does.
Oh no!
You know,
does that actually happen?
I've heard that a couple times, bro. What? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Damn,
that's foul.
So, it goes back to, you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even gonna get mad at it. You know, I know, like, myself being a good person, like, I don't have anything to shy away from. I actually embrace having one arm now because it's brought me to a lot of places, you know, that
of course,
I wouldn't have been able to get to, I don't think, if it was for that. And it's just helped me better mentally, you know, spiritually, and, you know, I just feel like I grew tremendously as a person because of the fact that I lost my arm. So it's I've heard it all, man. I mean, it's crazy to think all the stuff that people say, but you know, it is what it is. You know, it's just a part of life. You know, so you know, I'm here, I'm breathing. You know, and so I can't be any more thankful for that.
Heck yeah,
that's facts.
So do you see yourself trying to coach high school eventually, or maybe like some college type stuff, or are you like, you know, helping the younger kids kind of see in that path?
Oh man, I think my biggest thing right now I want to get into is speaking, like inspirational speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I love being able to go to schools. I've been at a couple different high schools around Oakland and Pleasanton, and spoke to like the football team at Foothill High School, spoke to the basketball team at Oakland High School, and I know there's a lot of platforms out there as far as, you know, maybe going to colleges, you know, going to like Duke University, or, you know, even going to like a convention where maybe like the CEO of Twitter's there, or Apple or something, you know, just to kind of get the message across of what a positive attitude can do. Because I feel like we get so caught up in saying like, dang man, like life sucks, man, you know, like I didn't get the job, or, you know, this didn't happen to me or whatever, or, you know, I broke my watch or something, you know, and it can really, you know, kind of really hurt somebody's, you know, feelings or emotions towards themselves, and just make them look at life differently, you know, and not be thankful for what they do have instead of what they don't have. And so I feel like if my story can help people, you know, get over the obstacles that they're faced and they're challenged with in life, then that's what I want to dedicate my life to. You know, I really feel like I really didn't have that when I was first diagnosed, of somebody that really just kind of helped me. I kind of just went by day, you know, with having the support of my family and friends, which, you know, helped me out a lot. But I feel like now, with all the platforms and stuff that are out there, I want to be a part of that, to be able to travel, speak, help people, all ages, all different, you know, stories, and just try to help them change their lives, you know, to be the best version that they possibly can be.
That's huge. So does it kind of irritate you at some points? I know a lot of people say they can't do something, and they can't, like, oh man, like, well, I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I don't have this. Does it kind of ever irritate you? Because you've done a lot with what you had. You've come a lot further than I think a lot of people who have everything almost can go just off willpower and dedication alone. Does it irritate you when people say stuff like that? And like, coming from where you came from, do you feel like it kind of irks you a little bit, or how do you take it?
A little, but at the same time, I'm understanding that, you know, not everybody thinks the same way. I feel like what I've learned and what I've kind of taught myself is a lot different than most. You know, these people may really just feel like they don't have everything, you know, and it's hard to really get upset, because it's like these people may have really thought that they lost everything they had, and it's like, damn man, well, you know it happens, you know, I mean, look at my story, but at the same time, it's like it's just something that people are gonna have to find within themselves. You know, that's something that I've learned, especially when it came down to taking like public speaking classes. Like, a lot of times, and this is crazy when I learned this, like when you're about to give a speech, if you're gonna go into, let's say, a classroom of 100 kids, 99% of the time, you're gonna have between an 8 to 12 second window to capture their attention before they don't give a fuck.
Damn.
Because a lot of times when you talk to somebody and you're about to share something, people don't care what you have to say unless it can benefit them. Because people, at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and I even translate this to, like, you know, when you go on an airplane, right? And then they tell you, if the mask drop, you put it on yourself before you put it on, like, your child. Yeah. And instinct as a parent, you're like, no, my child comes first. But if you're struggling with the mask and you can't get it on your child, and then you pass out and then your child passes out, you just killed you both. But if you're able to get it on yourself first, and then you help your child out, 9 times out of 10, you'll probably win that battle.
Yeah.
You know, and so that comes down to like relating that to back to the original question, like people, it's something that you kind of have to do for yourself. I mean, it's like, if you're thirsty, I can bring you some water, but you have to drink it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, you know, I know they may be struggling, going through a hard time, saying, man, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's like, I mean, I'm here to support you, but at the same time, you're going to have to find the strength within yourself, you know, because that's, at the end of the day, that's all you have.
100%.
I was talking to a family member the other day, and he's going through a lot as far as like, you know, splitting with his wife. You know, they're losing their home, all this type of stuff. And he's like, you know, super down about it. And I'm like, man, think about the life you created, though. You know, you have 3 kids.
Right.
They can grow up to be anything. They can have kids. You know, I hang out with some people that are wealthy, but they don't have a relationship with their family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they do all these cool things, but they're kind of lonely.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, you got to look at it like you created a legacy. You created something that can go forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people have more than what you have, but they ain't really happy.
Yeah.
You know, they ain't got no family to lean on. You know, they might have some money. They might be able to go do some cool things, but, you know, if you ain't got the company, you're lonely. You know what I mean? And it's hard to make it through whatever you're trying to make it through if you ain't got someone to lean on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, and that's very unfortunate, you know, when stuff like that happens to people. You know, you feel like you lost everything.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, you have to understand, you know, the bigger picture is that, you know, you're here for a reason. If you're still on earth and you're breathing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, God wants you here for a purpose, you know what I mean? And that's something that people tend to forget, you know, like, you know, people, they pass away every day. People are dying as we speak.
Yeah.
You know, and people are being born as we speak, you know, and it's like, if you're still here with all the stuff that's going on, you know, all the unfortunate mass shootings that are going on, and, you know, we're still here, like, that's a blessing in itself.
Yeah.
You know, and every day is an opportunity to grow and to learn and to just make a difference, you know, whether it's in your life, make a difference in someone else's life. And I think if you just value those things, then not only will you feel better, but you're going to look at life in a whole new different way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's something that I definitely want to help out people understanding, is that, you know, life is beautiful, man, and you have to take it for what it is and just learn to grow.
Well, I think that's hella true too, is because it's something as simple as like when you're sick, right? And you have a stuffy nose, something as simple as that. You're like, man, I would be happy only if my nose was, you know what I mean? Kind of that situation.
Yeah.
And then like we're sitting here, we're all breathing out of our noses just fine. But we're not happy. But at that point in time, we're like, oh, only if.
Right.
So it's kind of like what you're saying. It's like you just got to be happy with what you have. And
Yes,
kind of
sir.
back to what you were saying too. It's like other people might not have what you have, especially like when it comes to family and happiness and stuff. So that's huge.
Yeah, most definitely.
Man. So how often would you say you play basketball?
Oh, man. Not as much as I used to. I used to always be in the gym, man, like always hooping every day. I probably hoop maybe 2 or 3 times a week now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm always like learning, you know, I'm always like watching videos on how to coach, you know, different plays I can run with kids, and, you know, just trying to learn also just how to just become a better, you know, like person, you know, as a coach, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want the kids to, you know, feel like, hey, our coach is a dick, you know, like all he does is yell, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I'm going to be that way, of course, but it's only because, like, I'm looking at the bigger picture for you guys, you know what I mean? Like, understanding that, you know, basketball is bigger than sports, you know, it can carry you a long way, you know, outside of the gym, you know, coaching, mentoring, you know, or, you know, education and stuff, so.
Do the kids ever get, like, surprised when they see you shooting and all that? And they're like, whoa, like, my coach, you know, he has one arm, but he actually is, like, raw. Like, he knows how to play.
Oh, man, all the time. If I see my kids acting up, you know, I'm like, all right, next drill, we're doing one-on-one, and I'm going first, man, and I'm whooping all them. Got to, man. I got to let them know.
Is it ever like that in the gym, too? It's like, all right, like, you're playing fives, and, you know, someone's like, all right, well, I'm going to go easy on him. Then you get a couple buckets on him. He's like, whoa, hold on.
Oh yeah, bro, all the time, man. That's usually how it always is. Like, I'll be hooping, and a couple guys, they'll just take it easy on me, and then, you know, they'll be like, "Oh, damn, he can really play," you know. And what I've learned is, like, people, I don't even really think they know how to guard me. Like, yeah, they can force me left, but I can actually go to my left a little bit, which people are kind of surprised about, you know, and stuff. So they're not expecting that, and then they're like, "Damn, well, if he can go left, I don't know what I'm gonna do," you know, because I don't want to look stupid out here. And I know that's what people probably feel like, you know, if you get crossed or, you know, by somebody with one hand, you know, it's like it can kind of kill someone's confidence in themselves. And so I definitely would say I had my fair share of doing that a few times, and but it is what it is. I mean, I'm here to just play ball, you know, and nothing less, nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
So you, I know you mentioned in the past, you've played for some leagues specifically for physically disabled people, right? Or
oh yeah. I currently play for a basketball team called Wnba, and we're from all over the country. All my teammates are from different areas of the country. I have a teammate in Oregon, one's from Riverside, one's from New York, one's from Arizona, one's from Tennessee. And I met them through social media. Basically, everybody on the team is an amputee. Everybody has a different story. A couple of my teammates were born with one leg or one arm, or they had a leg when they were born, but it was a disease where they had like one toe or two toes, and it was just better to amputate the leg. And had a teammate who was in a car accident, and one who was, you know, shot in the leg when he was a child.
Damn.
And you know, basketball kind of brought us all together. And so what we do is we like to travel the country and doing community events where we kind of share our stories about what we all been through, but how we don't give up on life. You know, we try to motivate, educate, and inspire, you know, people about how important, you know, a positive attitude is, but how, you know, believing in yourself can really make a difference, you know. And so we like to share our basketball abilities, you know, with people, and we try to schedule events where we can play like a 5-on-5 game against like community members, just like, you know, regular people that you would see at 24, you know, like, and just to show people like, hey, we all have missing limbs, they don't, but we can still compete against them, you know.
Kick their ass.
We tried to, man, and we've done it a few times, man. And so yeah, that's who I play for right now. But we don't play in any leagues. We just we're a nonprofit organization. We're currently like trying to get some funding by sponsors that, you know, can help us like with traveling, because like we're all from all over the country. And we look to try to go to schools, speak at schools, go to, you know, any type of events where we can just kind of like share our stories and get that out there. So yeah, that's what I do. Also, like, just kind of like in my time where I'm just like with them, trying to just inspire, you know, and educate people on that.
That's awesome, man. It's really a beautiful thing. Do you ever think about, because I'm sure this has happened, I guarantee this has happened, someone comes along, sees you in the gym, killing it, and they might have had a bad day, or they might be on the brink of something as horrible as ending it all for themselves. I imagine you have saved a lot of lives just by being who you are and doing what you do and inspiring people and just being out there and living life to the fullest.
I would definitely like to say so. I've heard that quite a few times, you know, of just working out, you know, and people just kind of stop me during my workout and just, you know, really just let me know how I inspired them. And, you know, you don't know these people, but at the same time, this person took time out of his day to come walk up to a stranger and just say that by seeing me, who, you know, has one arm, who can have every excuse in the world to not do anything and complain about life and not, you know, get out there, to see somebody like that, like working out and just doing their thing, like that takes a lot of guts and confidence from that person. And for me, that kind of helped me even more to just want to continue on to do that, to help people, you know, and say, hey, like, I really appreciate that, you know, thank you very much. You know, I don't know what you're going through today, but if there's anything I can do to help you out, like, I will. Like, it's all good, you know. I don't want people to like kind of, you know, come up to me and just feel like that their day got worse, you know, by speaking to me. Like, I want to help them any possible way I can. So no, yeah, you're definitely right, man. I've heard that quite a few times. And so, and I hope that, you know, the people that I have met from that happening, that they, are in a better place if they were going through something tragic or whatever. Or I hope that I did inspire them to continue to grow and push themselves, to becoming better.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Kevin Lau?
Yeah.
So I went to Amador, and I remember I was trying out. It was my 8th grade year going into my freshman year, but he was a senior, so he was getting ready to graduate. And I remember I go to the Amador Foothill game, and the best player on the floor had one arm, right? And this fool is raw, like he's getting buckets, rebounds, everything. And I'm like, wow. And he ended up, playing in summer league for NBA and the whole nine, right? So I'm like, just was wondering how familiar you were with that story, because that was the first time I ever saw someone compete at such a high level, with one arm.
Yeah, so like I read all about his story as well. People would like, when I lost my arm, people would kind of do their research and be like, Troy, you got to watch this guy. He's actually in the Bay Area. He has one arm. Mm-hmm. And I never got to meet him, unfortunately. We're friends via like Instagram and Facebook though. And he's actually wanted to be a part of our AMP1 team.
Okay.
But he's doing something that I want to do, which is, being a professional speaker, where he's traveled, the country, overseas, China, Asia, Europe. And he, tells his story about what he did, becoming the first Division I athlete who was an amputee. He got a scholarship in New York somewhere. I think it was like Manhattan. Manhattan College. So he travels the world, doing that. And that's something that I want to do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm very familiar with him, as well as I think a few years ago, I think you might have heard of him. His name is Zach Hoskins. He went to the University of Florida, and he was the amputee as well.
Okay.
He was missing his arm. And but he was a shooter.
The shooter, the three-point shooter.
The three-point shooter, bro.
Yeah,
shooter.
Okay. I know you're talking about.
Man, yeah. So he's another guy, friends with, and same thing, he's kind of a part of our team, but he hasn't traveled with us yet because he's like doing a lot of good things as well.
Yeah.
And so I think it's something that I embrace doing and being a part of that. Just traveling, coaching kids, just trying to help, the future, future generation into, kind of carrying on like this level of positive energy, that the world needs.
Gotcha. You got any other like strong hobbies that you're into other than hoop and coaching?
I love cooking, man. I love making smoothies, and one thing about me is like I'm a big like smoothie guy. That's something that's like kind of helped me battle like cancer fighting foods. It's like foods that I never really liked, like turmeric, like kale and stuff. I wasn't really big into that, but I'm like, I know one way I can get this down. I'm gonna just throw it in a smoothie, throw some blueberries, some peanut butter, some almond milk, and I'm good.
Yeah. So
so that's actually another goal of mine, man. I want to open up a smoothie shop, kind of like a all natural, organic, place where you can come and get like vitality bowls kind of things, smoothie bowls. And I love cooking, man. Healthy foods. And so I do a lot of research on that, and so that's definitely a hobby of mine, cooking and all that.
Me being someone that like isn't an avid cooker or a cook, I would say that's a better way to say it, cooker. I always wish there was like, I live at home, by myself. I hate to cook. I always got to go out, and the quickest shit to get is super unhealthy.
Right.
So I always wish there was something like healthy that was quick. I could go through the drive-through, bam, get my smoothie. Or get my, vitality bowl real quick, and bam, I'm back to my house, watching my Netflix or playing my Madden. Right. Madden's out, by the way, go get it. But yeah, I wish there was something quick that I could get that's healthy.
I think for me the biggest thing was, I definitely feel you on that. It's so much easier when it comes down to, you're driving past, like KFC. There's nobody in the drive-thru. You're like, oh, I could be in and out in like 2 minutes, bro, with a full-course meal. You know what I'm saying? Like 20-piece chicken, with a family, in 2 minutes. Like that is so much easier than like, dang, I got to go get some uncooked chicken. I got to, cut it. I got to, it's going to take me at least like an hour. And then, you're hungry by then. So you're like eating while you're cooking. And then when the food comes out, you're like, oh, man, I'm really not that hungry now.
Yeah.
Like, I can eat a little bit, but for me, it's like I just, going back, to what I said before, it's like I did my research on like foods that I like, foods that didn't take a lot of time to cook. But one thing I will say about eating healthy, man, is when you start to feel the changes in your body, when you start to feel your energy level picking up, you feel yourself getting stronger in the gym, you start to feel yourself like just getting overall like cleansing your body, it kind of pushes you and motivates you to keep that up. It's something that's helped me a lot, mentally, when I would be like, man, I don't really feel like cooking right now, but I know when I finish cooking and whatnot, I'm going to feel great. I'm going to have a lot more energy. I'm going to feel like I can go run a marathon if I wanted to. That's what I try to remember every time when I feel that way. It's just the benefits that you're going to get from spending that time, cooking, just valuing the process of it all. It's going to pay off, and you're going to feel better than you have before, and then it's going to help you help others, It's a lot going on right now with people getting diabetes and cancer, and heart disease. And, it's crazy. I've known a few people who've passed away who've had that, and their situation was less severe than mine. And I almost feel like, wow, their problem wasn't half as, severe as my situation was, and they're gone just from that, and it sucks, it kind of makes you feel like, damn, I wish there was something I could do. So with that being said, that's why I really want to value and take into this whole situation of spreading the word about living a healthy lifestyle with, whole foods, and, being positive, being active, go to the gym, working out. Those combined, those go hand in hand, and it's only going to make you better and stronger. And like I said, you never know, people like Travis, he inspired me. He didn't even know it, People may see you changing your life, man, hey, I'm a chef now, I'm cooking it up, man, I'm whipping it, you feel me? And people gonna look at you like, damn, bro, I remember when you said it was hard, but now you're doing it, bro, you inspired me. And then that's gonna just keep you going. That's like fuel to the fire, man. It's just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger.
For sure.
That's a cool concept too, is because diet goes so far beyond just what you eat.
Oh, for
and
sure.
It's like what you watch and what you listen to and who you hang around and what you do on the weekends, and it all adds up. And that's super true too. It's like even when we were saying eating healthy, it's like it might take hella long, but a couple days you're gonna be like, damn, I got way more energy now. I feel happier. But if you eat McDonald's 4 days in a row, at the end of that week, man, you're just like, man, I'm over it, dude. I'm just gonna lay on the couch all day long. I'm over it.
And what's crazy about that, man, is it is a little pricier, but they do have salads at McDonald's. They do their part of trying to make it healthier. However, it's going to be an extra couple bucks, because it's so much easier to just, cook fries, or whatever and whatnot. But I feel like, it's understanding the values of how good you're going to feel, mentally, physically, for sure. And, it's gonna make you have a feeling where you want to keep that. You don't want to go away from that and feel, sick or sluggish or whatever. So it's just trying to have those thought processes going on in your head just to remind you, why you should do that, and whatnot.
Yo, I had to say fries. That's my guilty pleasure, man.
Well,
McDonald's fries.
What's super interesting about that too is that you bring it up. I just thought of it. Is I feel like they would have a lot healthier options at McDonald's and these places if it was selling more, because at the end of the day, they're there just to make money, right? And the fact it probably is, people are buying those Big Macs and the chicken strips and the fries, but they're not getting the salad as much. So well, why are we going to invest our money if these people coming through the drive-thru aren't even buying it?
I feel like we've been programmed though as Americans, kinda, right? To be
absolutely.
Burger.
Well, they just taste so
right?
damn good.
Right? I mean, people visit America and they're like, yeah, I gotta get a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Right,
and
it's
in and out type of situation.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll have family that come into town, and first thing they want to do is, where's In-N-Out? Where's Jack in the Box? We don't have an In-N-Out. We don't have a Jack in the Box, and it's it's understanding. You know what I mean? It's an iconic place. I mean, you watch a McDonald's commercial, they literally.
Yeah, you got to I'm loving it.
It's such a big concept, of the time and work they put into it, making the burger look like it's one of a kind. You will never be able to get a burger like this for 99 cents. You're like, 99 cents? I got 15 of those. And people feel like Birdman going to the dollar menu, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I could buy anything I want here only for $1 too, you know, and it's like, oh, I'm trying to get healthy. What about a salad? Ooh, $6? I ain't got it. But at the same time, people will probably buy 6 double cheeseburgers versus a salad for the same price.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot more full, you know, with these 6 cheeseburgers, but how are you going to feel after eating these versus eating this?
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that that I try to, you know, always remember, you know, it's, you know, helps me. But no, yeah, McDonald's, they're killing it in the marketing game when it comes down to those commercials, man. I'll tell you that.
I mean, well, because we've worked in the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
So a part of my training, right, when we would take pictures and post them on our social media platforms, we would literally sometimes put napkins in between some of the items to make it look more plump and make it look like we would literally fabricate the picture so it looks better.
Whoa.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even with pancakes, sometimes they put like cardboard in between each pancake on like a stack, so it looks like, whoa, like it just looks better. Like,
bro,
it looks.
The sickest thing I've ever seen. It's kind of genius. I hate to say it, but for a pizza commercial, right? You might have seen it on Instagram recently. They take the pizza, they take a little bit of mozzarella, put it in a bowl by itself, and then they add glue into the bowl and mix it together with the cheese.
Oh, wow.
And then they smear it on top of the pizza, so then when they pull out the slice, it sticks to the rest of the pizza to make it look like the cheese is hella melted.
No way.
But it's all glue and like a little bit of cheese.
You telling me they do that?
Just for the photos, bro.
That's wild.
Coming from my
bro.
perspective, that's pretty genius. I might steal that.
It is, right?
Hey.
Wow, I never looked at it that way.
Nasty though.
Hey, if that's what sells, man, that's the thing. Like, people, because it's like you said, brainwash. That word right there is 100% accuracy, because people, as humans, we're programmed to, like, you know, we want like, you know, the sugary drinks, you know, the cheapest meals for the big, you know, like the biggest products for the cheapest prices, you know, and of course it's like, okay, well, it's not going to be that good, but we can fabricate it a little bit to make it look good, you know. Here, where's that fake cheese, you know, over there? We got, you know, put a fake cheese in there instead of a real one, so it just looks better. And then you take a picture of it, put it on the TV, and then people are like, wow, that looks, you know what I mean?
$7.99, a whole pizza like this.
Yeah,
and it works. You know, people are gonna go out and buy it, man.
Seriously.
It's crazy.
Well, I feel like that's with Instagram now too, with relationships in general. I feel like that's kind of the same state of mind everyone's in, where it's like, if I can go on Instagram and see 10 baddies with no stress or no problems, but I'm in this relationship with a super awesome girl, but we have like 1 or 2 problems. No, it's not worth it, because if I go on Instagram, it's like brainwash. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I mean, that's going back to when I said social media, it could either be the devil or the angel. It can help you, like, in a lot of situations, like me, like looking how to beat cancer, you know, doing my research, you know, and all that. Or it can be like, man, dude, like, she looks good, bro, but, you know, just, you know, it's like stuff like that, you know.
To touch on that, right? I was thinking about this the other day. You know how hard you would have to work to get those type of pictures these girls post these days? Right, like to get a girl to send you a picture of herself or whatever, like doing
that's true.
some
Back
type
in the
of whatever.
day, you would have had to.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta work hard.
Yeah.
And now girls are just like
throwing it out.
They just throw it out there. Like, if you want to see something, you go see it.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how fast like everything has kind of changed because of social media, right? And it's like the attention is gold now for people. Like,
Seriously.
it's crazy.
Back in the day, you get a picture like that, you're like, oh my God. And you show all your friends. Nowadays, it's just like, oh, whatever. I got 3,000 of those on Instagram.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, if a girl sends me a new pic, it's like, why did you do that?
Yeah, what's going on?
It's weird.
It's
backwards.
Man, there's so many, like, apps with, like, trying to make people seem like, you know, all these filters, you know, like, oh, man, I got a bad haircut. You know what? Let me get my filter app and fix this hair. You know what I'm saying? And you got a fresh cut, you know, but it's not really a fresh cut. But because of the filters and the apps that they have nowadays, it makes you look completely different than what you really are. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, you guys saw that old
filter?
Old filter thing. It was a young kid that created that.
I thought it was the Russians.
Is that a conspiracy theory?
Nah, that was the whole thing with the old face filter.
I do kind of vaguely remember hearing like, oh, the Russians created it, and now they have everybody's information or something like that.
The pictures? Okay. Well, I heard it was like a young kid that created it. I might be wrong, but just stuff like that, right? It's like something like that happens, and then everyone does it, and everyone wants that kind of, I won't say attention, but just to be a part of the culture or whatever's going on.
That was super cool. That was really well done.
I didn't do it.
It terrified me, man. I started using lotion the day after I did that. I was like, I ain't trying to look like that, bro.
Damn, is this what I'm going to look like?
Products that make you look younger for years to come. Like,
that Kris Jenner effect. That's what they want.
Oh, man. Everybody wants to be a part of that whole, like, the Kardashian process of just looking young. And I might be tripping, but do y'all think Kanye has been getting work done to his face? Because his cheeks look kind of...
He admitted it, though, right? Didn't he get lipo?
Probably. I
think he admitted he actually got surgery.
Oh, man. Well, I'm not surprised, but I mean, like...
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, if he was with anybody else, I don't think he would have.
Oh, for sure not.
So I have I have a coworker currently. I don't know if that'll change in the near future because I don't know, man. I don't know if this sales stuff is for me all the way. Like, I like doing shit like this. But we were talking about Kanye. He said he's a huge fan, and he's black. So I was like, any of his comments that kind of throw you off? And he goes, no, because we all have our own opinions. We all have our own thoughts. And I like his music. I like his clothing. I try to separate his personal stuff from his creative stuff. He's a creative genius. I respect that. And that's what I like about him. Right. All the other negative stuff, or all the other stuff that he thinks or he says, I don't let that affect the things that I like about him.
Right.
And it kind of changed my mind and my aspect on some of the situation of him. And I was like, okay, I've always told myself I'll never get a pair of Yeezys, but I kind of like the shoes a little bit, So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I might get some now because creatively, I think he's great, But his thought process, I don't want to support someone whose thought process is kind of skewed. Do you have any opinions on that?
Man, it's different, man. It's everybody has their own opinion on things, like you were saying, man. And going back to me, I felt like I kind of got looked at differently for like being vegetarian. Like my girls, like her family, like they eat like a lot of meat, at parties and stuff. And then I'm like kind of like that odd man that's just like, man, I'm gonna just have this bowl of white rice right here.
You're a big dude too, right? Good. So it's like you're a big dude. So
man, so like I'm like, I'm just eat this rice and I'm good. And then I kind of feel like I'm still hungry, but I don't want to admit it. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, it's you don't want to knock anybody on their own beliefs. If they're they mean well, you know what I mean? And like if you're good at what you do, like that just shows like you're a genius in a sense of like you're doing good. You have a vision, you made it happen, and it's killing the game, And if you have some beliefs on certain things, like, I mean, we may not agree, but that doesn't change the fact that I still fuck with you. You're still my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just, I feel like that's the vision that a lot of people have on Kanye. Like, man, I fuck with his music. He's tough. The Celebration album, Graduation, like that, those were tough albums, And like, but I don't fuck where he's at now, but I still fuck with his music though. It's like that's how a lot of times people are looking at him right now.
Like Michael Jackson and R. Kelly.
Exactly.
That's so different, man.
He got quiet real quick. I was like,
That's so different.
Oh man,
I think it's super interesting though with the whole Kanye thing is like, because I feel like if you did take enough time to go through his thought processes, you would probably be like, okay, well I see where you're coming from. But I feel like nowadays everyone wants everything so quick, just like the fast food, where it's like, well, I kind of see what you're coming from, but I don't want to take the time to understand it, so I'm just gonna say screw that, and then go on to the other side. You know what I mean?
He was like, slavery's a choice, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I got mad, I was angry. Then I'm like, those people could have jumped off the boat. Some of them could have jumped off the boat. Some of them could have tried to run away, and they probably would have died, and they could have died instead of being in slavery. So I guess the deeper meaning is he's saying they could have literally died instead of being slaves. They had a choice to die or to be a slave. So I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense. But at the same time...
Well, I think it was more of a topical in terms of today's type of slavery. I don't think he was referencing like back then slavery.
No, he was referencing back then slavery. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, let me chip in on something. So, have y'all ever seen the Disney movies A Bug's Life?
Yeah.
So, if you remember in the beginning of the movie, hundreds of ants were getting tons of food for these grasshoppers. Wasn't that many of them? Right?
Yeah.
The grasshoppers knew, like, yo, if these ants figure out that they outnumber us 100 to 1, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But they never figured it out until the end.
Yeah.
So I think Kanye's thing was like, there were so many more slaves than there were owners. If the slaves understood that and said, bro, we can catch them slipping, get their guns, and kill all of them, and we all do that, we'll be good. There'll be no slavery. I think that was his thought process.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier.
So many ways you can take it, right?
Yeah. I think it's easier said than done, you know, because it's like, like that whole thing. But I think that's the direction he was going. Like, he probably knew that there was way more slaves than there were like owners, to where they could have came up with a plan and overtook them and stopped everything. But the fact that they just kind of accepted it, they thought they were the bigger guys, the ones with the weapons, you know, whatever. They just kind of decided, you know.
They're ignorant to their abilities, I feel
exactly,
like.
Yeah. That's a whole interesting topic, too. Because I feel like his whole thing behind all that, too, was just kind of saying, like, yo, like, I understand it was a huge problem in the past, but we're at where we're at now, and we need to be focusing on this instead of looking to the past to try to bring up these problems and blame it for what's going on now. It's like, yeah, we went through all that shit, but let's fucking boss up and handle what's going on now. And Kanye's an interesting dude, though.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So you're getting into the public speaking field. Have you done any like bigger speeches or speakings lately, or?
I haven't spoke in a while. I've spoken at, you know, like I said, a couple high schools here and there. I've spoken at a Cycle for Survival event, which is a cancer fundraiser in San Francisco. Spoken at like a couple Relay for Life events, which is another cancer fundraiser event. Spoken at a couple hospitals and shared my stories over there. So it's a real building process. It's something that I learned, you know, it takes time. It takes a lot of focus and energy to make sure that your grammar's on point, you're understanding your audience, whether I'm speaking at high school kids or I'm speaking in front of CEOs. I have to understand that I got to make these people feel like they're in my shoes. So, I'm working on trying to get more speaking engagements at the moment, just trying to figure out the right direction to go with that. Kind of looking at maybe getting a website, or maybe kind of like putting an application on a website to where if people want me to come share my story, they can come book me or whatever. So just kind of taking it one day at a time with that. But I'm definitely looking for more speaking opportunities.
Gotcha.
So I imagine a lot of people will probably come up to you after the speeches too, be like, dude, that was so dope, like, here, take my card, we'd love to have you come and speak. And
it's happened a couple times, most definitely. And you know, the speeches that I've done, you know, have related to previous speeches that I've done before. The last one I actually did was in Vegas earlier this year at it's called a Juice Plus convention. It was like a health food, you know, like type of thing, and I kind of went and shared my story about how important it was to, you know, eat healthy and whatnot. And that was really cool. I definitely met a lot of good people there that you know, were inspired, and, you know, I'm still friends with till this day. So yeah, I'm just hoping that I can further on my pursuit in that and continue to just try to inspire people and get the word out about it.
So being a cancer survivor and understanding how profitable, you know, the whole cancer situation in a whole is for the medical field and everything like that, if there was a cure for cancer, do you think it would ever come out?
I believe there's numerous cures for cancer. I mean, that's just my whole view on it. You know, I always tell people all the time, pharmaceutical companies have trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars from all these people getting sick. A drug is like weed, you know, like Advil, Tylenol, chemo, it's like weed. It works, you get high, you fall off the high, you want more of it. It doesn't really cure you. It's not like smoking weed gets you high forever, you know what I mean? What I learned is that, you know, like all these people that Dr. Sebi.
I'm so mad you said that. Was my next thing. I was like, hey, it's like a more of a suppressing it and treating it than curing it.
Exactly. 100%, man. You can cure diseases right now. It's been out for years about the foods you can have. When it was the year, well, let's just say when it was 100 years ago, there was no doctors. There was no pharmaceutical companies. Like, what you had to do was find whatever you saw in nature and use that. You know what I mean? If you're hunting with your family and you're in the jungle and, you know, you got an uncontrollable disease, like I don't know, whatever the scenario may be, you may go find like a plant, you know, and cut the plant open and, like, you know, rub the plant on your body or whatever, and then you're cured the next day. That's kind of the direction that always has worked, you know, and it's information that if people knew that information about, you know, the foods that cure diseases and whatnot, the pharmaceutical company is going to lose billions of dollars, which means no more medical schools, no more hospitals. Like, there will be no need, because all you have to do is eat these foods, and it's putting hundreds of thousands of millions of people out of jobs because of that. You know, I don't knock anybody in the medical field. I always say that they saved my life. That, you know, Children's Hospital, UCSF, like, the staff there was amazing, and I know they help people out a lot. I have family and relatives that work in that field. And I definitely believe there's a need for them. If you break your leg, you definitely need some treatment for that. But my whole thing is just like the whole, like, there's no cure for it type of thing, which is where I get upset at. You know, like, if you go to a doctor and say, hey, like, I heard about going vegan, I heard about going vegetarian, they're gonna look at you and be like, oh, well, no, because you're not gonna have this kind of minerals, you're going to be missing out on this. But it's like, you can get all that from plants. You know, like, you look at gorillas, they're the strongest animals in the, you know, in the jungle, and they're vegans. They only eat plants and seeds. So, you know, people don't know that, and so it's like, it's something that it's kind of like a process for people to understand, because some people don't want to believe it because they're so comfortable where they're at. But it's something that I value a lot in understanding that, you know, it is what it is. You know, they have the money to kind of brainwash you, like you said, you know, and some people are just kind of take that and go with it.
Yeah, because we had Scotty on here. He's a UCLA
neuroscientist major.
And he was saying pretty much, you know, the medical field has kind of failed us.
Oh, for sure.
You know, we've put so much money into them advancing our lives and actually, like, saving us from certain things. And it's like, there hasn't been any step forward and cures or anything like that in a long time, you know. So it's like, we're spending all this money for them to help us, and, you know, they're kind of failing us.
Yeah, I mean, he's 100% correct with that, man. I mean, they're getting, it's not like, you can't tell me you don't have enough money to find a cure. I mean, come on, dog. Like, I mean, I can actually say I'm living proof that you don't need chemo to beat cancer. You don't need, you know, all these medical treatments you say you need to beat cancer, you know, and it feels great to say that I myself am living proof of that. Yeah. And it, you know, it comes down to, you know, just understanding that's the way it is. They have the money. I'll tell you, I was on Facebook, I can't remember, it was not too long ago, and I remember reading some bullshit where it said, studies say eating fast food once a week can save your life or expand your life by 30 years. And I'm like, what type of McDonald's, Burger King paid these companies to write this bullshit? You know, that did not come from actual studies. That came from, like, a pharmaceutical company paying, or someone paying these people to profit their business. People are going to go eat fast food and not feel guilty about it. No, well, it said I can eat fast food twice a week. Here's my twice a week meals of fast food. I don't feel guilty because I'm going to live an extra 30 years. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. But people are believing it because of the people who are saying it. Yeah. You know, sometimes it's like, it's not what you say, but it's who said it. And people are going to believe it because it's somebody they may look up to. Or it's like, oh, I always love the news. I watch the news every day. I listen to the news, and they're never wrong. And if the news said that, people are going to believe it and go run with it.
Yeah. Well, it's super interesting, too, because it reminds me of when I used to personal train. I would always take the people through an evaluation of their diet and stuff. This one dude came in, and his diet was pretty on point. And then I was like, oh, so do you drink alcohol? He's like, yeah, I have about 2 glasses of whiskey a night, but you know that's good for you. I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, it's like it's good. It's proven. Like I saw it on the internet. Like 2 glasses of whiskey a night is actually it's better for your heart. And I was like, it's not true. I don't know where you saw that. So that's the biggest problem, I think, finding that information on the internet that is that's not believable.
Fake news.
Yeah, fake news versus the real stuff, because like
Facts,
yourself, you're putting it out there, you're putting out the real stuff, you experienced it,
Mm-hmm.
you've done the hard, long hours of research to find out what works for you and how you came to where you be. But then there's posts out there like the whole thing about the whiskey and then the burger once a month or once a week.
Oh man, that's so funny. That boy said 2 glasses of whiskey.
Yeah, he's like, well, it's good for you, so it's fine. I'm like, nah.
I don't know if you guys know who what's his name, Aziz Ansari is, the comedian.
Yeah.
So I was watching his special the other day, and he was talking about Pizza Hut and how they had a scandal, right? And he's like, yeah, who in the crowd has seen the scandal, right? They had pepperoni looking like a swastika, right? And he's like, if you saw it, like, raise your hand. Like, some people raised their hand, like half the crowd was like, yeah, I saw it, and it was fake. He was really talking about Papa John's and how Papa John's had a scandal about the Papa John's saying some type of racist stuff or whatever. But it's like people just want to be a part and like act like they know what they're talking about. Or they're, I saw that. And it's like he was making up a freaking fake story just to show people how like
people want to feel like they're in, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie if I wouldn't be guilty of that. Like sometimes people will bring up something like, oh, so and so. I'm like, yeah. just to push the conversation.
I think we've all done that before. Hey, just to be fair, I think we've all been. I know I have for sure.
Yeah. It's like the hardest thing in the world not to say yes. It's like, no, I don't know them. Like, oh shit.
Because then I feel like for me, it's like especially if you don't want to like be in a long conversation.
Yeah.
And you hear somebody and they're like, hey, so and so. If I say no, he's going to tell another story on top of the original story. And I'm like, I don't got time for that.
Exactly.
Not today. So I'm going to be like, yeah. Who is it?
Yeah. And then sometimes they'll actually call you out on it. And then you'll be like, I was thinking of someone else. All right.
That's facts, bro. That's hecka funny right there.
So what are your thoughts on Dr. Sebi? I know you kind of just touched on it a little bit. But as far as, his teachings and his practices.
I mean, I think it was all like, proven scientifically. A lot of his stuff has worked. I've took a lot of information he's given. I've used it myself, from like the marijuana, CBD oils, the Atkins, all that. It's like, at the end of the day, it's like you can do something, but I'll be honest, like there's some foods that I don't like that, said, hey, if you eat these are good for you. I'm like, damn, I don't really like that. So that kind of led me to like try other things, but that were still in like that book, So I think his knowledge was very, very powerful, man. And, it's sad that he's gone, and I mean, I don't know. You hear the government killed him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He already died of old age. And I'm just like, I don't even know what to believe. I mean, it's like.
Did you think it was kind of fishy the way he passed?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely I don't know. Like, I really didn't even do too much research on it, to be honest with you. I mean, it was one of those things you don't want to believe, but at the same time, it's unfortunate that it happened. But he had a lot of information out, about how to cure diseases. And like I said, the pharmaceutical industry is $1 trillion company.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally like, for me myself, all my medical bills, like my amputation, 9 months of chemo, the 10 plus years of my CT and bone scans, it was over $10 million.
Oh my God.
Thank God for insurance, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
shit, bro, they killing people out here for real.
For me, I'm one person. Imagine how many people, not just in the Bay Area, not just in Northern California. Imagine how many people are in hospitals right now. Look at all the money they're racking in. There's no way that they're saying we need more money. We need to find cures.
Yeah.
You got $10 million just from me.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's one person.
That's mind blowing.
Well, so I was at there's this young dude, Jonathan, who has, he has some sort of disease and a whole bunch of dislocated bones when he was born. But I went to record him at a talk he was doing recently. And it was a whole bunch of medical professionals, and they were talking about gene therapy versus some other therapy. and they had thrown out the number of the other therapy. It was like kind of reasonable. It was like in the 6-figure range, which was still expensive to me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh yeah, well, compared to gene therapy of 3 installments of $5 million, I was like, what? And like, this is a therapy they're supposed to be given to like 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. So you're putting these parents on the line where it's like, I just have my newborn baby that is the star of my life, and
You're gonna bankrupt me.
You're gonna bankrupt me for 15 mil or
Man.
10 mil or whatever the insane number is. That's outrageous.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
It's
I
unfair.
remember cleaning out my mom's. We're cleaning out her house one day, and I was looking at all the bills that were coming to the house, and I mean, bills were like 100 grand here, 80 grand here, 200 grand here. Like my amputation alone was like almost 500,000.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy to understand how much money the pharmaceutical companies make every year, and the fact that people are still getting sick, people are still, you know, uncurable, you know, as they say. You know, my cancer was diagnosed as terminal in 2007. And I was given 6 months to live. They said, we have no cure for you. $1 trillion, and you can't find anything that's
Yeah.
gonna work? Come on, bro. Let's
Yeah.
be real here. Like,
I mean, being that young, sorry to cut you off, but how do you process something like that? Hearing like a doctor, right? I'm sure it was a doctor that kind of 6 months, man. Like,
so the truthful story with that actually is I wasn't told. My mom was told. I mean, I was 15 at the time, so my mom didn't tell me till like I long surpassed that diagnosis. They told my mom I was gonna die in about 6 months.
Wow.
And she didn't tell me. I mean, I was just, you know, they asked me, okay, we have no cure unless you want to do chemo again. What do you want to do? And I said, I just want to go back to school. I just want to go back to school with my friends, be on the basketball team, manage the team, and just do what regular kids do. So that was basically the same time my parents were told I had 6 months to live. So
and your parents left that decision up to you as far as
they left it
to
up to
get
me.
chemo again or
Damn.
not?
Yeah. And
Wow.
I decided to go back to school, and they let me do it. And, you know, it was just like,
Saved your
you know,
life.
it saved my life, yeah. I mean, God only knows what would happen if I decided to do chemo again.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I could have made me worse. It could have made me better, but it could have prolonged like some injuries or like health issues like in the future, excuse me.
Yeah, for real.
But I mean, I'm thankful I made that decision, and I'm here where I'm at today.
Of course.
So
That's huge. Well, it's like, I hate to compare it to like a PAK quote, but like it's kind of like you either die like a man or live like a coward. You know what I mean? Like
no, that's facts.
you put
That's
yourself on the
facts.
line by taking that option, but look at you now. You know what I mean? It's better to live a life that you are in control of
Yeah.
than kind of sitting back on the sidelines and saying like, fuck it, whatever, you know?
Yeah. And I always say, man, if I had the information I had now, and I got diagnosed with cancer, I probably could have cured myself in like a month or two. Like,
Oh man.
yeah, like,
Damn.
it's just crazy, you know. Like, I'm just so thankful that, you know, we're in a generation now, you know, where it's like it's so helpful with like social media and like the internet use to like really find out what's really going on and ways to help you, you know. So yeah, that's it's definitely a blessing now for sure.
Now, you're a good-looking dude, right? As far as, you know, when you got your arm amputated, were you like, damn, like, is this gonna affect like my situation with the ladies? Like, did you think about that?
Oh man, a little bit, but you know, and I'll be honest, and I'm sure my girl's probably gonna hear this, but I damn near got more attention having one arm than I did when I had two. I mean, man, and I tell this story all the time, man. You know, when I first, you know, obviously I got diagnosed my freshman year. I missed out on a lot of dances. You know, I didn't go to like my prom. You know, I went to my senior prom, but that was it. I didn't go to like the homecomings or none of that really. So when I turned 18, I was like, man, I'm going to the club, bro. It was good. So I went with my friends. We were going all the time.
Yeah.
So much to where security knew me, and they were just like, hey, Troy, come on, bro. You ain't got to wait in that line. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And a funny story, man, like I was like dancing like with somebody like earlier in the night, and then like later on in the night, like I'm just like chilling posted. I had a long sleeve shirt on, right? So as you can see, like I tucked my sleeve in, so it's just not like hanging out, you know, or whatever and whatnot. And I'm just chilling, you know, and yeah, like the girl reached in my sleeve and just pulled it out, like didn't even say nothing. I'm looking, and it's like, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And she just kind of looked at me like, what happened? I'm like, get the fuck out. Like, come on now, bro. Like, it's like some things are just like, you know, common sense. You know what I mean?
Like, you don't
it's
do that.
like, Yeah. Like, so, yeah, I've definitely seen some shit, man. And like another time I was like in the club, like I got a girl's number or whatever, and we were texting later on that night, and she like texted me like, "Hey, can I ask you something?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's good?" She was like, "How come you had your arm in your sleeve the whole night?" And I looked at my bros. We're at like Denny's or something. We just started cracking up. Like, is this motherfucker for real? Like, who would do that? Like, in reality, like, if I had 2 arms, why would I keep my arm in my sleeve the whole night? Like, if anything, if it was broken, I'd have like a sling, you know, where you could still see it. But, nah, man, that was funny to experience some of those things. But yeah, I would definitely say I kind of got more attention than before. So yeah, it's been pretty funny. I've experienced some pretty funny things when it comes to how people approach you, you know, if they're like attracted to you, they want to get to know you or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's hella funny.
Yeah. I had to ask. I was like,
it's all good, man. It's been pretty funny, like the past.
Who would have their arm in their sleeve the whole night like that? That's weird.
It's hot as hell in the club, bro. Like, come on now. There's so many people around. Like, what am I gonna do? Just leave it in there the whole night?
Well, and why would a girl want someone who's weird enough just to be in there with one arm in the sleeve? You know, like
you can tell. Like, I don't have like a shoulder blade, so obviously it's like something's missing. You know what I mean? Like, it would kind of, you could tell, like it'd be like an arm like just dangling like in your shirt. Like,
she probably just didn't know how to ask.
Yeah, that's true.
Or she was ignorant.
I mean, I don't know. That was just funny. Like, I was not expecting that. She was like, "Can I ask you something?" I'm like, "What's good?" Like, you know, I don't know. You want to like go for lunch or something like that? Like, I don't know what she was trying to talk to me about, but that was the last thing I was expecting. So that was funny.
Yeah.
So you're a big sports fan as far as besides basketball?
Yeah, I definitely love sports, man. Baseball is definitely cool. Boring to watch on TV, unless it's like, you know, probably the playoffs or something like that, and the Giants or A's are in it. But football I'm big into as well, but I feel like that's very politic now. Like, it is a lot of ownership bullshit that goes on in it, to where I feel like there's owners in a room like this. You own the Jets, you own the Patriots, I own the Cowboys, and we're like, somebody's going to walk in the door and be like, okay, guys, this is going to be the schedule. This is going to be who wins the championship. That's what I feel like. I kind of feel like it's rigged. I mean, I don't necessarily know if that's the case, but I feel like who they want to win is who's going to win.
Yeah. I'm a big sports guy, so I hope not.
Same here.
I can see it happening.
Well, it's just like the medical thing, bro.
Right.
It's just like if they're doing it high up in the medical field, why wouldn't they be doing it in the sports field?
I mean, sports is making so much money off these players, you know, and it's like, I mean, I feel like they understand we'll bring in more revenue if this team wins the championship.
Yeah.
We'll have more viewers,
more merch.
If this team wins, our profits are going to go down by like 30-40%.
Yeah.
And then that's going to hurt their pockets. And they're like, damn. So I'm sure you watched the NFC championship last year, right? With the Saints.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
A referee was standing right, like, you're boom.
There's no way you can
smacked
miss that.
him.
Yeah.
I'm right here watching you. Yeah. And I don't call anything.
But to combat that, right? It's like they come out with these new rules to try to fix stuff like that, or do you think they're just trying to change the viewer's perception on it?
I think they did that new rule change for the perception of the viewers understanding that, like,
they're upset.
They protested at the Super Bowl. And I was just like, that's how you know there's an issue, you know? And I mean, I don't know. Maybe they were just like, you know, fuck it. Let's just get this team in the Super Bowl, and then next year it's whoever wins, you know, type of thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I can see it being rigged though. I can see it.
Even like going back to me coaching, like I coached in a couple leagues where it was like the owners or the teams that we would play, their team paid the refs to ref the games. So if a call didn't go our way, and I'm like, what the fuck, you know? Oh, I get it. Yeah. That team paid you. Okay, that makes sense. I see why we're not getting no calls and they're getting, you know what I'm saying? So that's just unfortunately how I feel like sports is, you know. I mean, it's entertaining though. I feel like, I mean, Super Bowl Sunday, that's a damn holiday.
Yeah.
People get together on the weekends, they barbecue, get drinks, and you party, That's, sports brings people together. It's a community. So it's definitely something pretty cool,
So do you play video games at all? Is there like special controllers, or like how does it?
Nah, I use regular controllers, and I can like kick some people's ass too.
Like, that's dope.
I play 2K, definitely play Madden, FIFA. Only thing I'm not really good at or big into is like Fortnite, like gun games. I don't like the accuracy. I'm not that good at like being accurate, like being in the scope, like and sniping somebody and then turning around. Like I don't have that kind of accuracy. Like
I never rode the Fortnite wave either.
Nah, not me, man. My kids do it. I'm just like, bro, there's so much you can do being 11, 12 years old other than staying on the video games all day.
Yeah.
Especially now, like back in our day, like when you had to like ride your bike to go see if your homie was home, and if he wasn't home, you had to ride your bike back home, like that's so much different now. You just, hey, you home? All right, it's good. I'm gonna just stay at the house then, like so lazy. It's like, man,
that's true.
So, but yeah, video games is definitely fun. I usually only play them like if I have like friends come over and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'll play them sometimes if I'm trying to kill time or something during the day if I don't have anything to do. But yeah, I'm big into like sports games and whatnot.
How do you feel about esports being a thing now, where it's like people? I guess some dude won a Fortnite championship like a month ago.
He was young too.
Got like $3 million or something crazy.
Yeah, I think that's huge, man. I think kids nowadays, it's like, there's so many ways you can, become successful, even if it does mean playing video games. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but like the NBA, they all have professional video gaming squads now.
Yeah.
Like the Warriors have like 5 or 6 guys that play video games, like plays 2K, and they'll play against like the New York Knicks video game team.
Damn.
And they get money. They travel the country. They actually get paid.
Yeah.
They'll be in a room like this. There's 5 players, 5 TVs. They're all like on their headphones with their controllers, and they're playing against people online, and they're getting money doing that.
They have a salary. They have housing, benefits, everything.
That's so
dude,
nuts,
like you travel like free hotels, free flights, and so it's. I mean, video games, as much as people want to knock them or whatever, hey, they can make you. They can make you.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because so my girl works at Twitch.
Okay.
Right, and they just lost Ninja.
Oh yeah.
Right, so it was a big thing, right? Like I know a couple of her coworkers and stuff, and like they weren't mad about it. They were just like, it is what it is. Like another company was able to pay him more than we could. Of course, Twitch is still going to be Twitch, right? They're the leader in the gaming industry.
Right.
But it was just kind of interesting to see them lose. Like Drake damn near to the gaming industry.
Well, they lost 1% of their revenue, which is huge. If you're making like $1 billion, that's a huge profit loss from one person leaving. 1%, that's huge.
Because I mean, I don't know any other gamers other than that 7-year-old kid that fucking reviews games that he plays or those toys that he plays with.
I don't know.
He made like $23 million just off like opening up boxes of toys and like saying if they were cool or not. Made a lot of money, right? Because like my niece,
I signed up, man.
Yeah,
that's what I said. I was like,
give me some Legos.
When I was younger, my niece literally watched on her iPad other kids play with toys. It's like a thing.
That's crazy,
it's a thing. I would rather play with them myself.
For real.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. But hey, there's so many ways to make money now. I'm not even surprised.
Yeah. Oh, and then another thing I saw, it was a rapper. He has a podcast. His name's Gilly. He's like, everyone's wants the attention. Everyone wants to be reposted as a musician or as an artist. Everyone wants that like notoriety, right? Like they want to be out there. He goes, I know one thing you can do to get famous right away. Hey, everyone can do it. He goes, shit in a bowl and eat it. He's like, everybody will repost you. Go, shit in a bowl and eat it. You'll be famous. And I was like, damn, like. He's not lying.
Yeah.
If you do some stupid ass extreme shit like that, people gonna post it. You're gonna be famous.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't want it that bad.
Some people do though. I guarantee it, bro.
Some people do some dumb shit.
I hope not, man.
Well, that's like that Boom Gang fool and all these people, bro. It's all just shock factor. That's all it is nowadays. People just want to do the next stupid thing to get hot for like 10 minutes and fall off.
Yeah, yesterday I was watching like World Star. Some dude pulled up to a drive-thru. He was at Popeyes. She was like, welcome to Popeyes. Can I help you? He was like, actually, you can't help me. I don't want nothing from this janky place, bro. Like, your fries are hella stale. Like, just talking shit. And it's like, okay, obviously that's not the response people usually get. But the fact that he did that and it was recorded, it went viral. And it's just like, what is the, I don't know. I mean, it may work for some people. That may be how some people may just get there. He may do dumb shit, but in reality, he wants to do something else. And he just did that to get himself kind of noticed, and then it happened. So
I also think it's kind of sometimes a different form of comedy, right?
Yeah,
like, I follow this guy, Funny Marco. I'm just giving everybody shout-outs today. But he'll, like, be on his AirPods, and he'll be, like, looking at you and, like, talking to you, like, so you really gonna steal my cookies? And, like, the person will be looking at him like, what are you talking about? He'd be like, oh, I'm on the phone. And they're like, I'm sorry.
He's hella funny,
yeah, he's
bro.
hella funny. I love that
Walmart,
shit.
he'd be like, you'll be buying some bread. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm about to get the bread right now. Take it out of your hands.
He takes it out of your cart, right? It's like, that shit is funny, but I think it's just a different form of comedy.
Yeah.
Some people get pissed about it, but, you know.
I forgot that one dude's name, but he'd be walking up to people and he'd just be like, what's up, Uncle Willie? Hey, Uncle Willie, I see you in a minute, man.
I know his name. His name's Gerald Houston.
Bro,
He's got a
Houston.
great name. Yeah.
He'd be like, what's up, Auntie Mina? Hey, I see you in a minute. And they'd be like, who are you? Like, get away from me. Acting like he knows you. He called you by name, some random name or whatever.
He's like, I love my 3 kids. That's you on Instagram, right? And then she's like, no, that ain't me. He's like trying to give him a hug and shit. That shit is hilarious.
Damn,
but I think that type of stuff is funny. Like when you're actually like damaging people's property or stealing or trying to harm somebody.
Yeah, that's stupid,
when it gets taken overboard.
Well, it's like that one dude. What was his name? Patty something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Supreme Patty.
Yeah. Is he dead now? I would be surprised, man.
He does some dumb shit, man.
He'll go to a hotel and throw a microwave out the window and beat the TV up with a baseball bat just for some views, bro.
Oh man,
ridiculous.
Or you didn't see the ice cream licking phase, did you?
I saw it. I saw one video.
Yeah. People will go into grocery stores, like open the top of an ice cream tub and lick it,
and then put it back.
And
hell no.
And the girl got arrested actually, and she ended up going to jail for like tampering with consumer products or something like that.
Bro. That's what needs to start happening. They need to start. There should be a page that people post the consequences of this dumb shit.
Oh yeah.
Just to say like, hey, it went viral, but she's locked up for 10 years.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? hey, it was funny, right? She's in jail. You know what I mean? Because that's like. I hate to bring this up, but I always see this happen. Like a lot of young athletes, especially, will have a really good career in front of them, and then they'll get hit with some false accusations of rape.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it'll screw their career up, screw their life up, and then it'll come out that it wasn't true, and then nothing will happen to the girl.
Nothing happens to the girl.
Yeah.
That needs to change.
Yeah.
Big time. Because then you need to provoke some fear into these women.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, if something bad happens, you want them to come out and say it.
Yeah.
But if it's not true, there needs to be some consequences.
Facts.
Exactly.
What I mean? That's how I feel too.
100%.
Totally agree.
Get the same charge that the dude was going to get, if anything.
Oh damn. Yeah. They definitely wouldn't do it then.
Facts.
Yeah, that's wild.
So anything that you, throughout your life, because you've been through some shit, would say your biggest advice would be to someone younger or coming up or trying to figure it out in life? Like, what's that one thing you would tell them?
Smoothies.
Man, right? Hey, can't go wrong. Man, I would say my biggest advice, man, is just, be grateful, man, for every day that you're here. Whatever life throws at you, take that as, a learning experience. One thing I always tell my kids in coaching, L doesn't stand for losing, it stands for learning. You take what you did wrong in this game, you even take what you did right. You look at how you can make it better, you do your research on how you can improve, and then next time you go out there and execute, And so I feel like life is in the same sense of basketball, you take it one day at a time. Don't look at bad things that's happening to you as being a negative. Looking at it as being like a positive. It's steering you away from something that could have gone wrong. And as long as you're still here, you're still breathing, that's an opportunity to grow, So, that would be my biggest advice. I want people to understand life is beautiful, man. And, it's important to just, live life to the fullest and, you know, spread positive energy around, and like spread love, man, and just be grateful. Just be grateful.
I think that's a good point to end it on, honestly. That's some powerful advice. Do you have anything you want to plug in terms of your Instagram, maybe YouTube channel or something you got coming up?
So my Instagram is at tflyed, TFLYED. I'm definitely looking into making a YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm big into cooking, into smoothies, and a lot of people have asked me, you know, how'd you beat cancer? You know, when I say, like, I kind of went on a plant-based vegetarian diet, they want to know, what did you eat? So I feel like it's kind of important that I kind of spread that awareness about what I did, and it's something I enjoy doing as well. So be on the lookout for that. And you can reach out to me, you know, via Instagram or my Facebook, you know, and if you want me to come like speak, you know, that'd be huge. I definitely love speaking and just sharing my story around. So I want to thank you guys for having me on, bro. This is it's been cool, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. Happy to have you.
Hell yeah.
All right. Boom.
All I Know podcast.
Thank you.